Wait, I'm gonna play this little clip of Paul Mooney. Tribute to my man.
Homie the Clown.
Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney.
Wrote for Richard Pryor. Was not
Again,
only
you know what to do. Share this link. The JD and Kai Show is
but also
live.
his psychologist.
Paul Mooney. Mr. Mooney. Mooney. Paul Mooney.
Mr. Paul Mooney. Thank you.
Again, if you're just joining, share this link. Just doing a little tribute to Paul Mooney real quick as we share the link, as you should do.
I don't know why. Thank you. I don't know why they did this. No, you can have it. They made a mistake. Because I don't drink. I'm on the wagon. I don't drink, so that's a mistake. Yeah, that's what they like to do. Get niggas drunk so they can sell them.
Share.
I live in New York.
On the shares,
what am I doing?
You gotta share?
Yeah, I'm focused. Y'all don't hear me talking. I'm focused.
You got drunk, nigga. Two things in black people's genes. You don't drink, you don't get drunk, and you don't fall asleep. Nigga falls asleep, he will get sold.
So one of the things I loved about Paul Mooney was like, it was very vulgar, it was very out there, but it was
in your
true
face.
To it. It was truth to it. Because
Yes.
it's almost like it's a metaphor. Like, stay woke, right?
Well, hey, I'm glad to be here in Hollywood, but I just want to say out loud, I'm not Hollywood. I'm neighborhood. I have to stay neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
I remember where that came from.
Amen.
I'm neighborhood.
All right, that's all we're going to do for Paul Mooney. Shout out Paul Mooney. Rest in heaven. I don't like to say rest in peace. What's the other one
Rest
they
in
say?
power.
Rest in
I like that
power.
one. Rest in power.
Definitely appreciate Paul Mooney. He was he had a courage to say what he wanted to say, even in a time when you couldn't. So yeah. Oh, sorry.
Turn us down.
I didn't realize that was playing. So again, we're here. Thank you guys for being here. This beautiful lady next to me is here as well.
What's
Kai
up?
in the building. Kai Martinez. I love the red though. This red is nice.
Thank you. You have compliments.
Kai is in her bag today. Look, last week I was in my bag. I was in here like, oh, let's get it. And she was like, oh my God, what did you eat?
Right.
And she came in today in her bag. So,
guns blazing.
I know. Pow, pow,
Pow,
pow,
pow.
pow.
Pew, 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 pew.
So how you feeling though? How you feeling? What's going on?
I feel amazing. I feel amazing. I've had a very interesting week personally. A lot of change, a lot of transition, a lot of
one of those changes
growth.
Being what?
One of those changes being I moved.
The move.
I moved. Yes. And just in time too, because traffic in LA is back and it sucks. And if you're not from LA, I'm from New York City, so we get really bad traffic in New York City. However,
I mean?
there's just it's like New York traffic spread out for miles out here. Like it went from the commute here where I used to live would go from 20 minutes during pandemic times. Now that outside is opening up again, it took 50 minutes last week.
Wow.
Bro, I almost fell asleep.
Is New York traffic like, because I'm from the South, so in the South traffic it's a standstill at a certain time, but then it clears up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't move. And I would always say LA traffic at least moves. Is New York traffic kind of just a standstill, or does it move like LA traffic?
It depends where you go.
Right.
Like you have to know what side streets to take. If you're trying to take like Madison Avenue, Lexington Avenue, Fifth Avenue,
Drop the names.
Damn, I haven't been
right.
New York in a minute. But if you're trying to take a big major road, you're gonna get stuck, and you'll be stuck there for a long, long time. that's why so many people take the train.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the train during rush hour, I mean, it's a lot. I'm getting
Yeah,
PTSD talking about it.
Right?
So
that's a whole episode right there. It's how to get
just
around
combating traffic.
But we're here. Obviously, we have a great show for you
I'm
guys.
so excited.
We got Junior Bevel here.
Junior Bevel.
Oh wait,
Speaking of New
I
York,
don't have to do that anymore.
I know. I kind of miss it though.
Okay, let's do it. So we have a great show. We're gonna run through a few current events first, because we got to talk about what's going on right now.
And we like to talk about what's going on right now,
right? And one of my biggest stories that's really kind of touching me right now.
Touching you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Look.
Oh, hey there.
Fuel, should we say what you said on your show? Well, maybe.
I
don't know. Anyway, he said some extra. What's the right word? LGBTQ.
Friendly or offensive? Are we gonna get emails?
No, it's they were having a battle, right? It was a battle. They do a battle, so they were playing R&B songs,
right?
And Almost his co-host played a song.
Almost, shout out to Almost.
And he jumped in and was like, "Every time you come, I go hard, I go deeper," or something like that.
Like,
every time you come, I go deeper, and then we were all like,
I said I get deep.
I get deeper. It was real homoerotic in a good way.
Hey, speaking of that, real quick,
we have to make it positive. Right?
Right.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's okay if you want to go deeper when your friend comes.
Hey,
it's fine.
Hey, shout out to Fired Up Thursdays, the show right before our show,
right.
On our parent network, Fired Up Broadcasting, with Fuel and Almost and JDB working it too.
Right.
But speaking of that, real quick, of that type of scenario, so I'm super late on Snowfall. Have y'all watched Snowfall?
I'm already done.
Everyone's done. All my friends are done. I'm super late, and I just did episode 3 and 4 last night of season 1.
Yeah, it's so
and it was crazy.
Here was on Snowfall, like, because I come from some pretty tough things.
Yes.
Right? And I get mad that they still are so innocent. Like, I'm like, it's real. You in these streets, and like, but they were still. And then you got to remember that they're kids. Yes. But I thought it's a great show that shows. You've always heard those stories about like
the
CIA
evolution,
bringing in drugs and all this, and it was a great story that showed like how it really happened. It wasn't so much that it's like, oh, we're trying to take down this black neighborhood,
right?
But it's like black man's like, yo, I'm trying to get some too, and CIA was like, oh, maybe, but it could look like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I bring that up. I bring that up because episode 3. Or is it episode? No, episode 3.
Which one was this? Give us a hint.
This was season 1. This is when the main character, I forgot his name.
Mm-hmm.
He has somebody took some money from him.
Got it. Yep, that was a great scene.
And he gets another guy to come in and rough him up, and you think he's roughing him up,
right? But I was like, how do you not expect that to happen? How do you gonna go get the homie?
But he was giving it to him.
You go get the crazy homie, and you don't expect him to be crazy. Like that's what I was mad about that.
I know.
Because I was like, if I went and got the homie, I'd be like, listen, do whatever you got to do, and I'm gonna sit out here and eat popcorn. But but they were like, oh, no, like he's killing him.
No, he's not killing him. He's giving it to him. Yo, that was a great scene.
I don't care where you're from. That is the ultimate disrespect. So if
Jesus.
Take your manhood. There's no other way to show that you ain't. Yeah, whatever.
Shout out to Anna in the comments. Let's redirect that. She just for flames.
Hold on, let me pull up these comments. I have my volume on. But then we're gonna get into this Joe Budden. Have you guys heard about the Joe Budden sexual harassment allegations? Well, actually, they're not allegations because he confirmed them and he apologized. And I'll read a little bit about what she said. I mean, I have the story here. I'll read a piece of it. Mm-hmm. But she said Joe Budden continuously made sexual suggestive remarks that made me extremely uncomfortable, as well as fearful. I know, right? Fearful. Wow. Fearful of dampening the mood. And so she kept laughing and continuing on, right? And so it goes on, and it even says that, at the end, he asked for a hug, and he kind of hugged her. But he was also moving his hips, right? So it was obviously like when you look at it, you can see the situation because it's very clear, innocent, but not innocent, immature flirtation, right? So he actually addressed the allegations, and he, just went in straightforward and said, I was wrong. I was wrong. The network was wrong. We missed that. It was a growing moment for us. completely apologized about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was still getting a lot of backlash about it, but I feel like everyone who's reporting on it, I just want to. I don't want to debate on who's right or wrong, because we know who's wrong. Joe Budden was wrong. He apologized. There's no excuse for that, and that's not what I want to ask. But I guess the discussion that I want to have is, when does joking along with it and smiling through it become a part of the problem, right? When can you say, like, if I don't know you, and Joe Budden, and the other two co-hosts were women, right? And they were along with the jokes, and he was joking, and he's being Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but the new girl was newer, and she was like, she didn't want that business. Right.
Yeah.
And so if I don't know you or know what's offending you, and you don't say anything, like, when is that? I don't want to say anybody's fault.
Right. Or when are you, I guess, consenting maybe?
Yeah. But when do we discuss, like, it's kind of like joyriding. When you jump in the car, it's stolen.
Yeah.
If you don't say anything, you're just as guilty. But it's not right to, you can't, I don't want to shame or say it's a woman's fault.
Right.
I think people in general get uncomfortable and they don't speak up.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think in general, well, first of all, I want to know what everyone else thinks in the comments. So if you have your opinion, please feel free to write it in. You already know how we do. We like to talk to you guys, not just us here talking.
My baby said
we be talking. But, I think anyone would feel uncomfortable, not even to say, I know that women, we're probably, just because of the way society is structured, we're most likely to be put in a situation like that. But I've also seen men put in situations like that with women, women of power, women that have a position, making passes at younger men or men that are in a more subordinate position. Or I've actually seen it within the gay community. I'm a dancer and choreographer, and I was on a job once, and I saw the choreographer make suggestive remarks to one of the male dancers, and it made me uncomfortable.
Right.
He wasn't making them to me.
Can you say what it was? Like how?
Oh, he was just straight up like, honey, yes, I see you,
Right, but I guess the only reason I asked for that is because you've been flirted with, right, by the right person. And if, when is it flirtation and when is it like, obviously Joe Budden was saying something like, I think he said, like, straight out that, I would want to fuck you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's obviously a lot in public, just in front of other people. But when is just like kind of jokey flirtation? Like, when is the? I think
it's the boundaries. I think it's the boundaries that we put on ourselves, we put for others. I was just having this conversation earlier today with a good friend of mine, and I was telling her how when I hug a man that's not my significant other, whether I'm single or taken, I don't do this along like embrace.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, like I do, if you're like the bro, like, we hug and it's just very like, yo, bro and sis. Like it's and if I don't know you that well, you get the little side joint. You know what I mean?
Listen, I just graduated to the front joint. I think it was today. It was the first time because I've been getting the.
Because he's a bro. He's a bro.
So today I got the quick chest.
But, and I remember a situation that I had where somebody gave me a side hug, and it was a friend, and he left his arm like hanging on my shoulder.
Oh, that's uncomfortable. I had that happen.
And I'm like, creep out of that joy. I isolated on out of that one, and then he got offended.
Right.
He's like, well, what's going on? What's wrong? I was like, nothing. You don't need to linger. Right? You don't need, this is my personal space.
But that's what I think that's okay to say. And I will take this even further than just sexual in the and like just speaking up for yourself. Right. And I think that's I think a lot of people are afraid of confrontation or afraid of upsetting the mood or afraid of somebody not liking you. And I just think there needs to be more of a conversation about, speaking up for yourself. Like, it's not so much even being bullied. It's just,
what I would say,
speak up. Like, yeah.
As maybe a recommendation, because we host a show too. We obviously have a podcast as well, and
got to push the boundaries.
We do, and we're very we get comfortable with people very quickly on our end. But we also, every guest that we've had, we ask them straight up: is there anything you're uncomfortable with? Is there anything you don't want to talk about? So I think as a production, specifically, because like the Joe Budden podcast is a huge production, and he's been able to do really well for himself. So shout out to that team for being able to do that, because we look up to them as a younger podcast. But, I think it's also delegating and talking about that with everyone on the team, and saying, well, what are you comfortable with? Yeah. And I think when you set it out like that, you can make it comfortable for people to speak for themselves. But when you're on air and you're Joe Budden and you talk about, I want to F you and I want to da-da-da, I could put myself in that situation. I'm like, dang, I'm on air right now. Like people, but it's so much going on.
Some of those things is what makes the show. And he even said that in the show, is I'm a podcast and it's my job to push the boundaries. And, I think he did push it too far.
Yes.
And, and obviously I think we can draw that line. But I guess it's just, I would just say, like, don't be afraid. There's no room I could be in where I would feel afraid to say this is bothering me. Right. And I guess the question is just, how do we get to that place with everyone else? Like, because you can't expect everyone to know. And she even said in another interview, like, I don't let people know who I am because I don't want people to know who I am. And it's like, well, how do we know how to deal with you if we don't know you? Right. And she kind of has a reserved personality. So I don't know. I guess that's the question that I would ask. Put that in the comments, is where is the line between, flirtation and you just doing too much?
Right.
Like, is it saying sexual things, or is it
because some people are with it. Some people are totally with the conversations. Some people are totally with, they go back and forth with people. Yeah. I think the best thing we all can, I'm a firm believer that we're responsible for ourselves. So, if you set your boundaries, you set how you live your life, how you want to live it, and you allow people to do in your life what you want them to do. And we teach people how to treat us, right? So, I mean, it's also easier said than done. So keeping that in mind and navigating this industry and navigating things like that. Yeah. But moving on a little bit from that, though.
Let's get it.
Somebody got vaccinated.
Look, hold on. I did. And I'm in a room of people who
according to the CDC, now he can
I'm in a room of people
smoke crack, apparently, or something.
These people here are beneath me. I'm vaccinated and I'm clean.
Right. The shame. The shame.
You guys are so dirty. On your side. But I feel fine. Actually, Ann and I kind of had a little argument because she made the appointment. And I was like, wait, we didn't even talk about, like, when did I agree to taking a shot? And I almost didn't take it because she booked it and didn't talk to me about it. I was like, I ain't gonna take it.
Right.
So, but it forced me to think about it. And I appreciate that she did make it because, it came down to a business decision. Mm-hmm. But I was at the point where I was like, either I'll take it, if they force me to. If not, then I won't.
Right.
So, she made the appointment and I did a little research, and it's so many different things to think about. And I made a decision that was best for me. So
right. And that's all you can do.
Yeah. I would never shame anyone for not doing it. It's a personal choice. And, I don't know. What are you feeling?
So, I actually was having this conversation earlier as well. And I do talk a lot. Yeah.
Always talking.
I am always talking. So I was having a conversation earlier about getting vaccinated, and personally, I'll probably wait until I have to get vaccinated, which is probably coming very, very soon. Because actually, right after I had that conversation, no lie, I got a notification on my phone about an article from the University of Pennsylvania, the health system requiring employees to get COVID vaccines or they're going to be fired.
But that's what I was waiting on, because it's like, if
it's going to happen.
But that's what I was waiting, like, because it's like, if it's really supposed to help, then why aren't we forced? If they could force us to be quarantined, then they could be able to at least advise harder or a little bit more forcefully to take the vaccine.
Right. So
and if they're not, then it's like, well, something must be wrong, right?
And that's what's going to happen. I think especially in the music industry and the entertainment industry, whether you travel, whether you're on tour, it's going to be required, because now also too, the BET Awards, they announced that they're coming back in June, and they're going to be live, and it's going to be live in front of a whole a fully vaccinated audience.
Crowd.
So you could be one of.
They're gonna get a call.
You could be one of the audience
for black people. Right. It's gonna be me. That boy can sing. This is a great show. This is good.
So JD, you're gonna be booked and blessed.
The only black person that took the vaccine.
But yeah, so yeah. Do you think now that you said that, do you think that's something within the communities, different communities that
it is
stereotype about that?
I described it slightly different. I'm trying to say this without getting in trouble. You always get in trouble when you say that.
Yeah.
But I think there's certain communities that are afraid of being bamboozled. Mm-hmm. Right? I'll just say it that way. And then there's also another level of a community that just, that gets it done, right? And they'll do it. Mm-hmm. And so I figured I wanted to be on the side of the people that just gets it done. Let's go get this money. Let's do whatever. Like, if you're always kind of hiding and hoping and thinking somebody's going to take advantage of you, it's
right.
I think a lot of the black community feels that way, obviously, because of even the Tuskegee Airmen and all that stuff.
Oh, yes, yes,
just a lot of distrust there. There's a lot of people that don't trust the government, and
I mean, I'm one of those people too. So
right, and I just didn't want to overthink it, and I was like, I don't plan to have any more kids.
I'm just in case,
right? I'm just crazy.
Just in case. You were wondering.
I'm pretty healthy, and if I go out early, then my kids may get a check. So
hey, it's a win-win. Shout out to Gigi. Setting laughy faces on the check-in.
Yeah. Why don't I ever get the comments on my?
Because I don't know, your phone, because you got an Android.
Look at this.
You got an Android. That's
anyway,
why.
What we got next?
Okay, so also just real quick, we'll just pass on talking real quick, glaze over J. Cole new album.
Right, fire.
If
you listening to it, if you heard it, put the flames.
Goodness gracious.
The comments. Fired Up Broadcasting. We want to see the flames. I can't say I have a favorite song, but it's definitely lyrical. So it's not like, I think there's some joints you could dance to, but it's definitely more lyrical. You got to listen to J. Cole.
I put it on when I was cleaning or packing. Actually, I was packing and I put it on, and I had to stop.
Right.
I had to stop because I had to listen. Right? I had to listen to the lyrical content of what he was saying, and it was just so well put, so eloquent. Shout out to J. Cole.
So J. Cole.
And, he went to St. John's alumni, as am I.
She's trying to shout out a little St. John. Anybody worry about your little St. John?
I'm proud.
I'm kidding. I'm hating.
St. John's.
Shout out St. John's. I'm just kidding. Love y'all.
But yes, so dope album. And let's see what else we have here. Boom. Last but not least. Right, I think last but not least
before we
this Sunday, I am hosting my first live event, y'all. Wow. I'm so excited. Where's my claps?
We'll get you the claps and the applause. We'll give you all of that. Is this your first live show or first hosting?
Yes. Of this.
We go. Sorry, the crowd's going crazy.
Whoa! The crowd was going ham just now. I'm with it. I'm excited. Yes, this is my first live situation this. Where I'll be speaking.
Right. You got to hold the mic.
I got to hold the mic and talk. But I'm so excited because I would do it for nobody else other than my sister. Coco Sarai. I was like, you heard that?
Squirrel. She got distracted. Sorry,
Coco Sarai. She is releasing part 3 of her Cacao album. Cacao part 3 of this trilogy. It's an amazing album. We've had her as a guest on the show. She's an incredible artist. I've known her for a long time. And I was around when this album was being created. Right. I even have a writing credit on this album. So I'm so excited to be able to be there. You will be there.
I will be there in the building.
I need JD there because I need him. I need his support.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. I need his support.
You're gonna be like, get the fuck.
Why did I invite JD? On my own, and I need him. And Phil will be there too. Yeah, Phil from Fired Up Broadcasting.
Then we bring in merch.
We're gonna bring some merch. We're gonna have some giveaways. So I'm excited. Tune in this Sunday. If you're not in LA, she's gonna
up the show. What are you gonna say? Go ahead, on the spot.
I'm gonna say, what's good, everybody? It's Kai Martinez in the building. What's up? I'm gonna do the shoulders and everything. Yeah, so it's gonna be at Soul Folks in Leimert Park. If you are not in LA, you can live stream it on Coco Sarai's Instagram live. It's at Coco Sarai. CocoASarai. So, and then the part 3 of the album comes out midnight tonight.
What was that?
Midnight tonight. The album comes out. The 3rd part. Check it out. It's amazing. This music, man. We out here.
I gotta try to. What? Yo,
Whoa.
that's the new horns. I don't know. It's messing up somehow.
Your horns went to Burning Man or
Right?
something.
It's-
I don't know
yeah.
what's going on.
Oh, I know what it was.
Your
I
horns
know-
went to Burning Man.
They were backwards.
Oh,
So
okay,
let's
fancy.
start with the backwards horns. That's gonna be our
That's
thing.
gonna be our thing.
That's
He's
our
been trying to make
rebranding
it.
the backward horn. No,
Boom.
I know. Anyway, all right. So do we have Junior on?
I'm so excited. Wait,
All right,
don't
listen,
pull him on yet.
We're
You
not,
gotta intro
we're not
him.
bringing him in yet. I just want to
Okay.
make sure he was there. I'll let you go ahead and do the
On
honors.
standby.
I'll
No,
let
you can do it. I'll let
I
you
don't
do it.
really know. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All
You
right,
say it better. Your voice is
fine.
sweeter.
I'll say it. Well, so just I want to introduce our guest today. I'm so excited because he's such a dope human. I really do love him. I've actually worked with him as a choreographer and movement coach, and he's a dope artist. His song
What does
"Love and
what
Light."
does a movement coach do though? What's that?
Movement coaches, I help the artists bring their own sauce out.
Word.
That's what I do.
All right.
Bring it out of them. But he's an amazing artist on his own. And yes, dope music. You got to check him out. Junior Bevel. He's out here. He's going to talk about his new music video he's releasing, along with the track Love and Light, which is available on all platforms. Give it up for Mr. Junior Bevel from Jamaica.
What's good?
Wagwan.
What's good, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man.
Okay.
Where are you? You're in Jamaica now or are you in New York?
No, I'm in New York. I'm in Brooklyn right now. Yeah.
Brooklyn. All right. What part of Brooklyn?
Flatbush right now.
Flatbush.
Bush.
Flatbush.
I
I don't
love
know if I
music.
heard that you're in New York right now. Also, I heard or something like that.
No, we're in
No,
LA.
we're in LA. I
Okay.
wish we were in New York.
What's the weather like in New York? Is it cold still?
Now today we're actually 70s. We're actually on our move way back up. I see 70s, 80s this week. So things is getting back to normal and well.
All right. Well, as usual, Junior, go ahead and give the crowd or everyone watching here just a little bit about yourself. Tell them about yourself and maybe a quick little run through of your journey.
Of my journey. So I actually grew up in gospel actually. So I started in
You
about
speak
age.
Oh.
I started about the age of I think around 12. My grandmother died, and my father asked me to sing at her funeral because he's like, "Well, you sing in the choir, so you can sing a solo, right?" So I ended up doing that. At that funeral that I sang at, this guy was sitting in the funeral, and he offered to take me to school. I started at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, and then he took me out
Damn.
of school
Just a
and
quick
put me
note,
into
Come on, Bam.
Yeah, just a quick note. I mean, I always like the emotional part of things, but how was that singing at your mom's funeral?
Grandmother.
A grandmother's funeral, and
Oh.
I spoke at my dad's funeral, and I remember feeling so proud after that.
It is an accomplishment because that was my first solo. But at
Right.
the same time, I was a nervous wreck. Like the mic was like this. Like I mean, the song was "The Blood That Jesus Shed for Me." I will never forget that. And
Yeah.
the blood that Jesus.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Aw.
But
That's a beautiful moment.
If I had never started that journey there, where would I be right now?
That's beautiful.
So went from that school to BAM to Brooklyn Conservatory, then to Oakwood University. Oakwood University.
Yeah.
My fault.
I'm having trouble too. Kai
Oh,
got
I
it.
gotcha.
Yeah, so I took the musical journey for a little bit, and while doing that, I had my own group in Brooklyn here for about 12 years, and I took the move to LA doing IT, and then once it's in your blood, there's no other turning back from there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So I got out of the IT and I started to do the.
Well, at least you're smart. You're in IT. Only
Right.
smart folks be
Yo,
IT.
if you go to Junior's crib, that
Right.
joint is all hooked
It's
up.
all hooked up.
It's all hooked up. Like I went to the bathroom and it had music. I was like, wait, what is going on?
Look,
There's speakers everywhere. I
That's
love
that,
it.
that's that player shit right
I
there.
know,
That's
right?
that
That's it.
You go to the bathroom, you put on a little John B.
Put all those,
Lights drop down and everything.
right, the hue lights turn, change lights.
And the joints never come back up after that. Oh, this is nice. This is. I'm just gonna walk out free. I feel safe.
Made me feel so safe.
Oh no, what happened?
I got all the tricks. Let me say, that's a whole nother episode. The tricks.
Right.
But go ahead. Sorry. That was a moment.
Yeah. So you've been out here and then working on music out here. How has that worked out? out for you? Like, how has that
Um,
transitioned?
so my first time was working with Josh from I forgot the studio that he worked with, but he worked with other people like Zendaya and like other people, and well, I worked with him with this what do you call this cover, which was Shawn Mendes' Mercy. So I did that first, and from there I met Chris Jackson, which he introduced me to the producer that was with Sean or Black Monday.
I love no. This is the home. These are the homies.
Okay.
Shout out to Chris Jackson. Shout out to Sean Black Monday.
Yeah, so they worked on a tune actually, and they had submitted it, and it I guess it was asked for change. They brought the track back, and Chris was there, and Chris said, "Hey, I want you to let Junior sing, that song." So I went back, nervous as I was, to meet Sean that day again, and by myself, and too many people were in the room, and so that had me a little nervous again. But eventually, everybody, I guess, must have got the picture that, hey, he's nervous. They all left the room, and then when we left there, me and Sean in that room alone, and then Henny Never Left Me on Red was birthed. They was just like, nah, you have to keep this track. And, I was appreciative of that because that was a fire tune. That was like that was a fire tune. I don't know if you heard that yet, but...
That's the one you sent us, right?
No, it's look it up. Henny Never Left Me on Red.
All right, let me see. I'm going
to pull it up.
You continue.
Yes, that's actually how I got introduced to Junior, is when you released that song.
Yeah.
And I was with Coco, and Coco, shout out to the homies, the downtown. I call them downtown.
Right.
You mean what?
It's called Henny.
Got that.
Henny, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Never Left Me on Red. Yeah, and I heard that song, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, I'm screaming on that song. Yeah. My heart is in that song. Yeah.
I felt that. Yeah. And now Love and Light. Let's talk about Love and Light real quick.
Let me hit this track right quick. Wait,
wait, you got
pause
it?
for commercial.
Okay, my
see.
bad.
No, that's right in. We're good.
Love is right.
We need some Henny. Yeah. I'm gonna bring some Henny next time.
You're already feeling too good. You don't need no Henny.
Never left me on red.
Hey.
Jamie.
Some dope visuals too.
Never left me for dead. Oh, Jackie.
Yeah, that's fire right there. That's fire.
Check that out, y'all. Henny
Never
Left Me on Red.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on with the little lady when I get home.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
Don't forget to stop and get your Henny, brother, when you're on the way
yeah.
All right.
We got time for that. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once Anna get going, I don't know.
Anna, what's up? Where are you at, Anna? Where you at?
Everything is lost.
But yeah, so now Love and Light.
Get to stop to get your Henny, brother, when you're on the way.
Can we talk about Love and Light? Because Love and Light, if is just one of them tracks, and I'm gonna just say my little 2 cents on it. Is for me is one of them tracks that I actually, when we were working on a music video about it, I was kind of going through a situation that it spoke to me about.
No, you know, I was gonna ask. Come on, what's the situation? What happened?
You have to hear the song.
Okay.
You'll know what I'm talking about. So and here for me, it was a song that really, it was like real talk. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people write songs that are very metaphorical and this and that, but this was like real. Like this was like you felt it and you were speaking from a place. Because when I was feeling it, I every word hit and snapped at the right way. So
captured that feeling.
Yes, but how is that? How was this journey for you with Love and Light?
Well, I'm in a better place now, so I guess I can speak. You know.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. But so that was actually a breakup song, and we were trying to make it the breakup song of 2021. You know, and you know, I wanted anybody to take from it not only a breakup from like relationship, but like, you know, breaking up from anything. Like you don't have to sit there and really like torment yourself or be tormented in anything. Cut it off. Mm-hmm. That's what this song says. Cut it off, and that's it. It's nothing like, you know, disrespectful or anything like that. You know, just cut it off. In the video there, that you know, I don't want to tell the video before people
he
see
said,
it.
"Fuck you."
C'est la vie.
Say la vie.
Like, I'm still calling you my friend. This is what it is. But like no disrespect or anything like that. I know that part may be a little abrasive, but it's just like, hey, that made it a little fun.
Yeah, and it feels like that. Sometimes when you're cutting ties with someone, it's like, with all due respect, but F you.
Right.
Right.
Right. And you've given so many chances on this, like, and like how much times do we have to give of ourselves before we just be like, look, like I have no more to give. But cut it off. Done.
9 years.
That's it.
I did it for 9 years.
Right. And that could be that job that you're working at.
Right.
That could be like those friends that you had that just like don't give back or anything like that. It doesn't have to be just like, no one type relationship or anything. It's just mean like, anything that I'm a part of or whatever, if it's not giving back, I think society has made us believe that we need this, and we need our jobs and everything like that. But hey, they equally need us. So we don't have to go there and then just take their BS or anything like that. When we go there, we need to interview them on, is this a place that I want to stay and give 3/4 of my day every day to, like that. So like, check. We need to flip the whole thing. Cut this off. This is not for me anymore. Thank you, and I love you, but with God's speed, I'm moving the hell away from you. That's it.
Now, was there a turning point for you in your life, in your career, where you weren't always like this, and there was a moment where you made
pre-COVID.
All turning points.
Someone said this to me recently. I don't know who said this to me, but they said this 2020 vision, and that hit me like a brick. 2020 vision, and something that we've always heard so much. 2020 vision, but 2020 vision, like it has opened my eyes, not only through like again relationship, but I'm talking about all aspects of relationships, whether it be friends, family, or anything like that. I just had to reopen my eyes and say, everybody that you're around or everybody that's around you don't have the best for you. And at the age that you're at right now, you can't just be up in everybody's face like that. It's time to start cutting the fat. My friend used to say this: cut the fat, right? All the fat that we don't, we need to start cutting the fat, and then just start moving with love. Like if anybody's not moving in love with you, look, I'm not gonna. I don't have energy to retaliate. So I'm just gonna cut the fat, and I'm just gonna find my way, and that's what we need to do. That's what I'm doing. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Amen. Deacon.
Because I've kind of always challenged that in the sense of the way the world is now is like everyone's cutting the fat, right? And where do you think there would be a line of like sometimes people need a friend, sometimes people need help? I mean, I was drawing the line at if I'm trying to help you and you're not getting it, or you're hating me for it, or what do you think the line would be?
That's actually the flip side of it. Like you end up start cutting the fat and you start cutting everybody. It's like, damn, I'm in the room by myself.
Yeah. But now it's too late. You're
cutting the fat.
You slim.
I think that's where sometimes it's good to talk to a friend, talk to a therapist, actually. And mental health is serious. You know what I mean? And get someone to talk to. Like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Like, I'm not saying that they have to tell you, yes, go ahead and do it or whatever. But don't just run off and do things or whatever. Talk to someone first or whatever. Somebody that you trust. Yeah. Remember, everybody you can't trust.
I think I would loop this to our conversation earlier about just speaking up for yourself. Obviously, I'm all for cutting the fat, keeping good people around you, but say something. If somebody is, feeling like they're being toxic, or if the vibe isn't right, let them know or tell them, or just say like, yo, like, it's feeling a little weird. I'm trying to go here, but I feel like you're not, like, just say that. And if they're not with it, then cut the fat.
So my question for both of you would be for people that are unaware, you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people, this idea of being self-love and self-awareness and mental health, all these things are new concepts or concepts that they didn't grow up with. Right. So what is something that you guys would be able to tell people that don't know anything about this, how to identify something that is toxic or something that is not good for them?
I'll let you start. All right, I can. You too. You're the guest.
Nice.
Yeah. You learn.
Junior.
So there's I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but there's a law that I learned back in school. This is years ago. It's called Johari's law or Jokari's law. and we see ourselves differently than how the world sees us, right? So sometimes it's hard for us to admit or to see the ass in us sometimes, or that, or even just like, hey, I it's just hard to see. It's just like, hey, you have to first admit to yourself, like, hey, like either I'm not always right, and everything that I'm saying won't be, or anything that I do won't be the right thing, and I don't know, like, I don't know. I would just see, like, I can see myself one way, but the world is always going to see me differently. I just have to hope that, I'm planning out everything I'm doing. I'm going to do the best that I can in this, and, come what may, if I fall, which most times I do fall or whatever, as long as I get up and keep going, that's just me, I'm not going to, I stop taking on what everybody else is doing or what everybody thinks of me or anything like that, because it's just going to, it starts to bog me down and then cause me to flip, stop what I'm doing to go here or there.
Right.
So, I'm just trying to focus, and I push that to anybody out there, like, just try to focus your mind, and just try to focus.
Yeah, I think I would agree with all that, and I would just say, kind of, most importantly, learning self-awareness, keeping yourself accountable, and then just,
how do you learn self-awareness? Like, for someone who's never done it
by
before?
just going with what you feel. Like, I mean, if you don't feel good in a situation, like, pay attention to that. Like, it's really nothing bigger than that. Like, if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel scared, if you feel anything other than happy, then that's something you should look at.
Identify. Yeah.
And you think about, why do I feel this way?
Right.
And then you kind of, look at it. And then if it's a certain person, you ask them, like, I feel like I'm feeling this way, and, kind of talk about it. Like, I think it's just not being afraid to have a conversation.
Yeah.
But hold on, can we touch on that part right there that you just talked about?
Yeah.
Come on, Junior, you better be asking questions.
Get in there.
I got a question, yeah.
I'm real, and I think it's just like we don't. It's easy to say what you say just now in regards to, like, ask questions and say things, but, like, people, we don't mean anymore. Like, there's no love in this world anymore to where we say, hey, how like, let me check to see how are you doing? You know what I mean? Or whatever questions or whatever that we have. Or even, we just don't do it anymore. So again, it's easy to say, hey, like, this is what we're supposed to do, but that's just the what's the word you call this, the textbook, if that, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why I always say it, because I'm like, if enough of us do it, it'll come back, right? I think a lot of the mentality goes to cut the fat, which is what you should do, but it's also cut the right fat. Like, it's not like, just because you and somebody aren't vibing, y'all can't be friends.
Right.
Just because somebody doesn't have the same goals, you can't be friends.
Because now that's another thing. Right. Now there's, like, this idea of cancel culture. Yeah. Right. Where it's like, yo, you get one strike and you're out. Right. Exactly. And just saying that, I think it's finding the balance between the two. Exactly. But at the same time, I'm a firm believer that you protect your peace. So if I'm in a space that I feel uncomfortable, I remove myself. And it could be for a moment. It doesn't mean I'm well for the rest of my life, but it could be in that moment, your energy and my energy is not compatible. And I've had that happen with close friends and just people in general, where I'll know a friend of mine is going through something, and I'll say, okay, right now, energetically, I can't take on what they're doing. So I have to remove myself for now, but then I'll come back. And vice versa. There have been times where I've gone through some heavy situations, like death in a family or a breakup, things that are emotionally heavy. And I've removed myself from a lot of my friends to a degree, just I don't want to burden them with that energy. So,
and I think it really just comes down to that. If we want the world that we all want, of love and kind of peace, then there has to be a level of concern for your neighbor, and not just I'm going this way. If you're not going with me, then I'm out of here. And I think it's become very what's the word? Very entrepreneurial driven. Like, everyone has an entrepreneurial spirit, right? And
that's a nice way of saying it.
Come on, sweetie, just say.
Right, and it turns into kind of a selfishness, and
but
then we all complain that nobody cares. But it's like, but we also are subscribing to Cut the Fat. Like, not to keep saying your quote. Like,
I know.
like I'm blaming you.
Yeah, no.
But
because I agree.
But it's the right
that
mentality.
balance.
It's just knowing how and when to do it. Like, a lot of people hear things and they're like, "Oh, that's right. I'm gonna do that." But it's like, but you don't understand how to do it correctly.
Well, I heard this quote. I think it was Jada Pinkett Smith that said it, but I'm sure other people have said it.
We used to be together before Will.
In his dreams.
I still think about you sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, baby. So the quote, the idea was that I can't take care of my family or anyone else if I don't take care of myself first. If I'm not good first. So I think that's what really has resonated with me in terms of balancing all these things out. Like, if I have to make sure that I'm healthy, I'm getting my, sleep, I'm mentally stable, emotionally okay before I can pour out into the world. And even there's times where I'm kind of on a limb and I can still do that, but balancing that whole thing.
And I'll try to wrap this up with one old comment: is just treat people how you want to be treated. Right.
Amen.
And like, we all want someone to speak to. We all want to feel loved. We all want to feel like we're important. We all want to feel respected.
Right.
Just do that for everybody else,
right. And when we don't, we send them the song called Love and Light by Joe.
I do have another, because I heard, actually, we were talking about that you're working with Coco. I didn't realize that was her on the song. And I was like, yo, on the beginning of that song, it sounds like Coco. She's like, Coco. So how was that? How was it working with Coco? Tell us a little bit about
that's the fun thing about just working with all of these guys there. Like, we come in there not with any intention, and then it's just like, oh, you're here? Hey, go do something. Hey, you're here too? Go do something up here too.
Right?
When it Everybody comes out, it's just like, yo.
A lot of Four Roses. A lot of Four Roses.
Not a bottle of Four Roses. Yo, to be honest with you, Four Roses need to give us some type of sponsorship.
What is Four Roses? That's you and the friends, right?
No, Four Roses is
it's a brand name. It's
whiskey.
Yeah.
That Black Monday keeps in his studio. We should be called Four Roses.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Four Roses, you need to run us a check, because like,
the amount of music that's been produced.
Songs,
right.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that project.
Video. Video.
So we got the video. Can we play that clip, Fuel?
Do we have it?
Yeah, it's the one that I have, right? I think so.
The Love and Light, or
the trailer. We have a little trailer. So when does it come out? Before he's setting it up, when does
the new date is actually June 15th. June 15th.
June 15th. And the track is already available, correct?
Yeah, the track is already available on all platforms.
All platforms. Please make sure stream it. Trust me, I was screaming at the top of my lungs.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And then intro this too. We have the clip ready, so go ahead and intro it. You be ready for this, man. This is big time. We out here.
Well, I'll say,
this is the one and the only.
Well,
Love and Light. I want you to love the track. Love the track. Love the track. I see you again sometime.
I may pull it up here.
Pull up the audio at least.
Yeah, at least we can play it
here.
Could hear. But tell us a little bit about this while we work out some technical difficulties. Tell us about the song. What is it about?
Okay, so the song, I can tell you some the theme of the song. So what I try to do with the video. How about that?
Yes, let's talk about the video.
So the idea for the video was to bring attention to all aspects of ways that you can cut things off, as we spoke about earlier. So what best way to keep attention? As you know, it's hard to keep an attention, span. It takes probably about 15 to some seconds before our mind falls off, or if not less.
Right.
So what do we like? We like TV. What type of TV we like? We like 90s TV, right? So what I try to do is just go back to 90s TV, and what did we like? The Friday. I mean, I've watched a lot of TV, and especially in COVID just
birthed
my TV.
Right.
Somewhere like Netflix, if you're listening, I don't know about this little price hike you did because, like, I think I've seen everything.
Yeah,
He want to check. He want to check from Four Roses. He want to check from Netflix.
Right.
I rewatched all of the Game of Thrones. I rewatched
Same here.
all of it.
Same here. So I don't see why we're getting all these price hikes. But that's another condition. You can invite me back on for another one with that one. But like yeah. So what?
So now was this this was your first music video, correct?
No, this is my third music video.
Third music. Oh yes. You're right. So how was this? How was this? Creating this music video. Was it different from the other one?
This one is different because, like, I think this one was like had a real theme, like a goal. So that's hence the '90s theme TV, and then we try to make it into that where we put a little script in it first that went back, that took you back to like Friday days and next Friday and like different shows like that or whatever. So then they had a little fun with it, brought a little actors in to like do a little bit of stuff here and there, and everybody did a great job.
Stop playing with me! Stop playing with me! Stop playing with me!
Hold on, I think he got it playing. Hold on one sec. But
it's like Coco, where are you?
Okay. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, we were talking about the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's play it real quick.
We're gonna play it real quick.
There's a Love and Light trailer. The video will be out June 15th. Let's watch it.
Stop playing with me! Call the bitch back!
Yeah, me no want no bumbo clot, man. I was your love and light while your house on fire.
That's the tease. That's the tease right there. That's the tease. And that whole video and the song comes out June 15th.
No, the song's already out.
The song's already out. The video comes out.
The video comes out.
Got it. My bad. Don't be giving me the look. I just got the, when you do something stupid.
When you're not paying attention, Anna, I feel you, girl.
Look, I'm practically amazing, practically perfect. I can make a mistake every once in a while. Just kidding. But yeah, no, it's dope. And I think I'm going to try to pull up the whole song too.
Yes. Let's pull up the whole song.
The whole song. We're going to continue telling us about it.
Yes. No. So also, so the video is coming out. What is next for you? What's next for Mr. Junior Bevel?
So right now I'm in New York, and I have just doing like a little bit of live stuff, like as I was, telling you earlier that we have a live performance this coming Wednesday. I just got back from Egypt like 2 days ago, and I was able to sing out there too.
You do be traveling.
How was Egypt though? Tell what.
He be in Tulum. He be all over the place. I'm like, dang, Junior, take me with you. I'll be your sister.
Right. How was Egypt?
Egypt was amazing, bro. When I tell you, like, I mean, you go out there with the like scared. I was scared, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But like,
yes, it's scary.
Scared of what?
It's just scary.
Or just being in the country, or
you in a whole.
I got there a day late, so my friends was already in there for a day, and then they was already inside people's homes, and so I got scared about that. But when I tell you, they took us in, they fed us, they treated us, they didn't make us spend any money at all. They kept on saying, no, we got it, and they want to know that, like they wanted us to know that, yo, whatever you see and hear out there in the U.S., that's not us. We love you guys and everything. Are you American? Yeah, I'm American. I love you, man. And they hug us.
Wow.
Like, I had so much fun out there, man. Even now, I met the best people out there, I had a really good time. The pictures, like the everything from the beginning to the end. The only bad part of it was my bag. You lost
the bag?
It never made it to me.
Oh, did you get it back at all, ever?
Kai, I planned for this trip. I bought some outfits ready to go with the video.
Was it the two joints?
They were hooked up too with technology.
Really?
He was ready to get
Steve McQueen's joint was the bread that was on that. I had mad shoes in that bag. Everything.
Dang.
I may need a minute, but
if there's anything that a Jamaican man is proud of, it's his shoes.
No, but to be honest, I felt like God did that to me. He was just like, you know what? I brought you all this way here. You can't. Thank God I got the bag back now. By now, the bag didn't come back till I was boarding the flight to come back to the U.S. That's when I got the bag back.
Yeah.
You told me to wait right here while we go get the bag.
The outfits that you bought, like
right,
those moments are lost.
But it was a humbling experience, though. You know what I mean? Like I had to stop what I'm doing in my place and just like, okay. Does that mean, because I was mad, I was like, yo, everything is messed up, all this money to waste, And I was just like, you're gonna come all the way to Africa. You're in front of pyramids. Now, you ain't in Brooklyn. You ain't in front of the pyramids in Los Angeles. Las Vegas. You're in front of pyramids on the Sahara Desert, and you're gonna let that mash up your whole weekend. I'm telling you, I was laying in the bed, mash up. I'm telling you, like, I'm like, get up right now.
Yeah. So obviously you're working, right? This is all work, right? This is why you're out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's for a little vacation. You need it for your mind, and all that.
Amen.
But at the same time, it's just like you go out to these places. Like, how you are relating? Like, I played a witch doctor. I played a witch doctor from in my film. So that's why I bought a lot of the stuff to go along with the witch doctor feel. And now you have some stuff in front of the pyramids and like, which it was just like, it was time. Even the ideas that we got from Kai gave me an idea and I put it in. I think like a week before or a couple days before it was a couple days. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Burundanga. The
Burundanga.
Yes, it's like a devil's breath or something. It's a drug from a plant.
Did you see it in there too? Like,
yeah, I did see it. So you blow and it's very prevalent in Colombia.
Yeah.
And it's a drug that it comes from a flower, and if you inhale it, you'll completely
but it's
lose.
A drug.
I mean, it's
okay.
I guess it's a drug, but it's from a plant. But like weed is a plant, it's a drug.
Just saying.
So it's from a plant, and you could blow it into someone's face, and if you inhale it, you will completely lose consciousness, but you'll be awake.
Right.
So so Pete, you'll be very open to suggestions. So a lot of crime has happened, not just in Colombia, but in other places using this powder.
We're getting some of that for You Ain't Scared.
Right. Where people have gone under the influence and they'll take the people, the robbers or whatever, back to their apartment. They'll help them rob them of all their stuff, and they'll look like they're awake, but they're not. And then they wake up the next morning and didn't know what happened.
How's this legal? Why don't they just burn?
It's not legal. But it's a plant. It's like,
they shouldn't even be allowed to grow anywhere. Like, this is ridiculous.
Shout out to Miss Varsha Wright. Thank you for loving it. Thank you for the red.
I know, right?
She loves my red off the shoulder.
Kinfolk. All right, so we're running out of time. I'm going to play this track. I want to hear it all.
But before you do that.
We're not leaving.
Okay.
Play the track.
Because I want to make sure Junior gives out his social stuff.
You better give out his social stuff. You think you can leave without...
All right. We're going to make sure... See, this is how we brother and sister, we fight.
No, I'm playing it here, but I actually don't hear anything. Oh, wait. Oh,
you got it?
You live with yourself.
Play Run It From The Top. Run It From The Top.
Start it up.
While you're...
Listen to the lyrics, y'all.
I was your love and light while your house on fire. Did you ruin us on purpose or just for the high? Can you live with yourself since you're losing the magic, the smoking mirror, part of everything that we built? Dead and matter cause it wasn't bad man.
Hit it with the...
Hey, I can't give it all. They gotta go find it. They gotta go find it. Drop the socials. Where can they find your music?
Junior Bevel, Junior Bevel, Bevel on all platforms. Again, that's a Junior Bevel on every type of platform that's out there, streaming and streaming.
And just a quick question before you: Are you actually a junior, or is that your name?
Oh yeah, it's actually my
okay. Just making sure, because people just be throwing it. Because I'm the third, and I just named my son the fourth. You gonna keep it going? What you think?
No. It
stops with me. And I know you just started playing the guitar. You said, right?
Oh yeah. So like during the pandemic, it's so bored. So like I met up with this guy.
You're gonna take it down. You know we gonna ask.
Right.
You know it's coming.
Can you play us out? You gotta take us out. Well, before he does, y'all already know JD and Kai show. It's been another amazing show.
This is episode 3, right? We're on 4. Next week, we are having the return of Kiana Calloway. He's coming back. We're gonna be talking about prison reform. He's out doing a lot of work in New Orleans, Louisiana. So come get some of that boot vibe as we talk about prison reform, and I think we're going to talk about a lot of different things. But he basically he specializes in actually, they just passed a law that you can no longer check. You have the boxes on when you fill out an application that you have a felony. So he actually just passed that. that bill that in Louisiana you no longer have to check felony on a job application.
Amen.
So he's doing a lot of great work. We're going to be talking to him. So next week.
Tune into that.
Next week.
And for now, let's have Mr. Junior Bevel take us out. Follow him, y'all.
Wait, hold up. Before I go taking y'all out, remember I'm just learning this.
Let's learn it. Hey,
So we gotta put this
is a safe space.
You didn't play with Wyclef. I heard you. Remember?
This is a safe space.
Yeah, go ahead. Be nice comments.
I want to be alive now. It's not who you think I am, not what you want me to be. Good loving for me, real love, with no strings attached. I want to give my eye. I don't want to take it back. No, I don't want to take it back. No. If you take my eye into your eye, you'll see what you're the meaning of to love someone. From the rising till the sun goes down, I shower you for it, but don't need no other now. Oh, I know love give us mountains more. Then we go further, though, and it's just me and you. In my hand, there's nothing we can do. I share every dance with you. I want to be loved. It's not for who you think I am. That's what you want me to be. A good loving for me. Real love is with no strings attached. I want to give you my eye. I don't want to take it back.
It's so hard to do.
I know.
That is so hard.
Hey, listen. It's a question. How many? You ain't got to get no number. Do you sing to the ladies? Do you sing to the ladies? Come on. That's what I could never do, man. I always wanted to serenade and just. I can do a little better.
Now that I'm actually doing this a little bit more now, I'm gonna start trying to do that. Now I had to get the
Amen. So when they come out the bathroom with the music, he is gonna be in there with the guitar, just wearing the guitar.
Right. Wait, let me give you this. Remember that it's always easier to sing to a crowd of 1,000 more than it is to one person.
Just one.
That's very
true. All right, man. Thank you so much for joining,
Junior,
man. I can't wait.
Thank you, guys.
June 15th. Look for that video.
Yes.
We'll probably put it on the page.
Amen.
We'll share it. And best of luck to you, man. And we'll see you next time.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Later.
Bye.
Backwards. Anyway, thank you guys for joining. You know what it is. We already told you next week. Be here. It's going to be a great show as usual. And we got this thing. Right?
We're gonna be guests on Fired Up Thursdays. Thank you, Fuel. So catch us on Fired Up Thursdays on Thursday. At what time? It's 4. It's 4.
Their show starts at 4. We're gonna actually be a guest on their show. Same Fired Up Broadcasting, so you can just watch that one and then watch ours right after that.
Yes.
So,
I'm trying to have an outfit change.
Right. I may wear something other than black. Maybe we'll see how the week goes. I don't know.
All right, y'all. Check us out. Take care. Thank you for the support. Peace.